Did you know that the people closest to you, yes, even family, could be draining your energy, health and happiness in your later years? It might sound shocking, but as we age, some relationships become more toxic than supportive. The people we've always relied on could be holding us back instead of lifting us up. Let's dive into why certain relationships may no longer serve you in your golden years. Are you ready to rethink your inner circle? In this video, we're uncovering the 5 types of people seniors need to avoid, even if they're family. Trust me, you won't want to miss this eye-opening advice on how to protect your well-being and embrace healthier connections. Stay tuned for a life-changing conversation. Meet Margaret, a woman in her 70s who's just like many of us. She spent her life surrounded by family, believing that these relationships would always be a source of support and joy. But lately, Margaret has started to notice something troubling. Her energy levels are lower, her mood is shifting, and it seems like certain people in her life, people she loves dearly, are the ones draining her the most. Like many of us, Margaret thought family relationships were sacred, but she's beginning to realize that some of these well-intentioned bonds may actually be holding her back as she gets older. Sound familiar? Maybe you've noticed similar changes in your own life too. If you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more life-changing advice to make your golden years truly shine. We've all encountered a negative Nancy. This is the person who constantly brings up worst-case scenarios, complains about everything, and always sees the glass as half empty. It's as if nothing in the world is ever good enough, and their pessimism tends to cast a shadow over everything. The worst part, it's draining. Constant exposure to negativity can leave us feeling stressed, anxious, and worn out. Take Margaret, for example. Margaret has a cousin, Edna, who she used to enjoy spending time with. However, over the years, Edna's attitude has shifted. Now, every conversation with her is filled with complaints, whether it's about her ongoing health problems, the state of the world, or even her relationships. If Edna isn't complaining about one thing, she's worried about another. And it doesn't stop there. During every visit, Margaret feels her mood dropping as she listens to Edna's endless negativity. By the time the conversation ends, Margaret feels drained, anxious, and even more worried than before. What used to be a pleasant catch-up now feels like an emotional weight. You might be familiar with this scenario. Maybe you have someone like Edna in your life, someone whose constant complaining seems to seep into your own energy. You could be spending time with them, thinking you're just catching up, but by the end of the interaction, you're left feeling emotionally exhausted. It's tough because at first you think it's just a phase, or maybe you even feel obligated to listen and offer support. But after a while, it becomes clear. This negativity isn't just a temporary mood, it's a pattern, and it's taking a toll on you. Here's the truth. You don't have to keep subjecting yourself to this kind of emotional drain, especially as you get older. While it's natural to want to help or listen, it's crucial to set boundaries when it comes to chronic negativity. It's okay to acknowledge that someone is struggling, but it's equally important to protect your own mental and emotional well-being. Start by setting clear boundaries. If you have someone in your life who constantly brings negativity, try redirecting the conversation. Acknowledge their concerns, show empathy, but gently steer the conversation to something more positive. For example, if Edna starts talking about her health problems again, Margaret might respond with, "I hear you, Edna, but let's also talk about something that makes you happy. What's something positive that's happened to you recently?" This not only diffuses the negative energy, but also encourages a more uplifting direction for the conversation. Remember, it's not about ignoring their feelings or dismissing their problems. It's about protecting your peace and creating a healthier dynamic. Over time, you might find that distancing yourself from constant negativity is the best way to preserve your mental and emotional health. It's okay to take a step back from relationships that drain you. Life is too short to be constantly surrounded by people who bring you down, especially when there are so many others who can lift you up and contribute to your happiness. Do you have someone in your life who always brings the mood down? Maybe it's a family member, a friend, or even a neighbor. How do you handle these situations? Share your experience with us in the comments below. Let's support each other and discuss the best ways to protect our peace. Now let's talk about the manipulator, the person who uses guilt, pressure, or even emotional blackmail to get what they want, often under the guise of family support. This type of person can make you feel obligated to help, even when it's not in your best interest, by playing on your sense of duty or affection. They may tell you things like, "Your family, you should help," or "I've always been there for you." But when the tables are turned and you need help, they're nowhere to be found. Take Margaret's nephew Tom, for example. Tom often calls Margaret asking for money or favors, always emphasizing that she's family and should be there for him. The guilt is heavy, and she feels like she's doing the right thing by helping him out. But when Margaret finds herself in a tough situation and needs support, Tom is mysteriously absent. No calls, no offers of assistance. It's a classic case of one-sided family dynamics where only one person is benefiting from the relationship. Unfortunately, many seniors experience this type of manipulation. It's not always easy to spot, especially when it's wrapped up in emotional appeals. You might feel that helping is the right thing to do because they're family, but over time this can leave you feeling resentful, drained, and taken advantage of. Recognizing manipulation early is key. If you start feeling guilty every time someone asks for a favor or financial help, it's a red flag. While it's natural to want to help your family, it's equally important to recognize when someone is crossing your boundaries for their own gain. Here's the thing, it's okay to say no. You don't have to say yes to every request, especially when it feels like you're being taken advantage of. Help when you can, but don't sacrifice your well-being or peace for someone who doesn't respect your boundaries. Setting clear limits with manipulative individuals can be uncomfortable at first, but it's a powerful way to protect your emotional and financial resources. Think about it this way: you can't pour from an empty cup. Helping others should never come at the cost of your own happiness or security. Have you ever experienced someone trying to guilt-trip you into doing something you didn't want to do? How did you handle it? Share your story below. Let's discuss how to recognize and deal with manipulators in our lives. Next, we have the one-upper, someone who constantly compares their achievements, experiences, or life milestones to yours, making you feel like you're always falling short. Whether it's a conversation about health, family, or social life, the one-upper always finds a way to mention something bigger, better, or more exciting than what you've shared. It can be subtle, but the impact is often profound. You're left feeling less than, as if your accomplishments and experiences don't measure up. Take Margaret's childhood friend Clara, for instance. Whenever Margaret talks about her family or recent health improvements, Clara quickly responds with stories about her own life, making sure to top Margaret's experiences. For example, if Margaret mentions how she finally managed to take a walk around the block, Clara will share how she's been hiking regularly for weeks. Or if Margaret talks about a nice family gathering, Clara will casually mention her luxury vacation with her children. It's as if there's no room for Margaret's happiness unless it's bigger or more impressive than Clara's. Living with a one-upper can be emotionally draining. It's hard to feel good about your own progress when someone is always one step ahead, trying to make you feel like you haven't accomplished enough. The worst part? It's not about the one-upper trying to be malicious. They may not even realize they're doing it, but for you it can feel like a constant comparison game that leaves you disheartened. Here's how to handle it. Limit your time with one-uppers. Life shouldn't feel like a competition, especially at this stage. Conversations should be about mutual respect and connection, not about one person always outshining the other. If you find yourself in a conversation where the one-upper is dominating, redirect the focus back to what's going well in your own life, even if it's something small. It's important to remember that your experiences and accomplishments are valuable, no matter how they compare to others. You deserve relationships where you feel supported and uplifted, not where you're constantly measuring yourself against someone else's version of success. Focus on what's going well for you and celebrate your wins, no matter how big or small. And if Clara or anyone else continues to overshadow you, it may be time to reconsider how much time and energy you invest in that relationship. Do you have a one-upper in your life? How do you cope with it? Do you find yourself feeling drained or discouraged? Let us know in the comments below. Your experiences could help others navigate similar situations. Next, let's talk about the enabler, the person who encourages unhealthy behaviors, whether it's overeating, avoiding medical care, or ignoring vital advice, all because they don't want to confront uncomfortable truths. While their intentions may be rooted in love or care, enabling these habits can be harmful in the long run. Take Margaret's close friend Ruth as an example. Ruth and Margaret have been friends for years, and Ruth has always been the type of person who believes that a little indulgence never hurt anyone. So when Margaret starts feeling guilty about not following her doctor's advice to cut back on sugar, Ruth dismisses her concerns. "Oh, come on, Margaret, one more slice of cake won't hurt you." "You deserve it," Ruth says, every time Margaret tries to be more mindful about her health. Even when Margaret mentions that her doctor wants her to exercise more, Ruth makes excuses, saying, "You don't need to be so strict. Life is for enjoying, not worrying about every little thing." While Ruth's intentions come from a place of love, this constant enabling only makes it harder for Margaret to take control of her health. If Ruth truly cared about Margaret's well-being, she would encourage her to follow through with her doctor's advice and make healthier choices, even if it's not always fun or easy. Seek out people who support your health journey even when it's challenging. It's important to surround yourself with individuals who will encourage you to make decisions that prioritize your well-being, even if those decisions are tough for them to accept. Your health is your responsibility, and while it's natural to want comfort from loved ones, you also need people who are willing to help you stay accountable to your best self. If someone in your life is enabling unhealthy habits, it may be time to reassess that relationship. Don't be afraid to set boundaries with people who make it harder for you to stay healthy. True friends want what's best for you, even if it means having difficult conversations or offering advice you might not want to hear. Has someone ever made you feel like you could ignore health warnings or indulge in unhealthy habits? How did you handle it? Share your thoughts below. Your experience might help others realize it's time to take charge of their health. Finally, let's talk about the taker, the person who only shows up when they need something from you, whether it's money, favors, or attention, but disappears when you need help or support. These individuals thrive on what they can get from you, often leaving you feeling used and emotionally drained. They don't offer anything in return, and when you're the one in need, they're nowhere to be found. Take Margaret's brother, Henry, for example. Henry only calls when he's in financial trouble or needs help with something around the house. He never asks how Margaret is doing or offers any kind of support in return. When Margaret needs help, like when she has an appointment or needs someone to talk to, Henry is always too busy or too tired. But the moment he needs something, he's at her door or on the phone asking for favors without hesitation. It's exhausting being around someone who constantly takes without giving anything back. While it's natural to want to help family and friends, it's important to recognize when the relationship is becoming one-sided and starts affecting your well-being. It's crucial to recognize these relationships early and protect your emotional, physical, and financial resources. It's okay to say no to requests from a taker and set boundaries that ensure you're not being taken advantage of. Relationships should be reciprocal, with mutual respect and support. If someone consistently takes without giving, it's time to reassess whether that relationship is worth investing in. You deserve people who are there for you when you need them, not just when it's convenient for them. Don't be afraid to stand up for yourself and protect your energy, time, and resources. Have you ever had someone like this in your life? How did you handle them? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might help others who are dealing with similar situations. Avoiding these 5 types of people in old age can significantly improve your mental, emotional, and physical health. It's about setting boundaries and nurturing relationships that truly uplift you. As you age, the people you surround yourself with can either support or drain your energy. Choosing wisely is key. For Margaret, taking control of her relationships made a world of difference. After distancing herself from the negative influences in her life, she felt more energized, less stressed, and more connected to the people who genuinely cared for her. It wasn't easy, but it was worth it for her peace of mind and happiness. If you found this helpful, hit that like button and share it with someone who might need this advice today. And don't forget to subscribe for more tips on how to live your healthiest, happiest life as you age.